Раз. Проверим звук. Отлично, звук есть. Всем добрый вечер. С вами Алексей. И это мой канал по видеоиграм. Сегодня стрим по Genshin Impact. Продолжаем задание легенд с Фуриной. Напомню, в прошлый раз в задании мы уговаривали ее выступить в театре в качестве главной героини, но героиня главная оказалась, что может участвовать, поэтому Фурина выступает теперь как консультант. Ну и, собственно говоря, вокруг этой всей истории крутится сюжет. Фурина, там у нее свои заскоки после снисхождения с архантов и так далее. Вот, сегодня продолжим. По стримлю, как обычно, около часа. Так что let's go, не будем больше терять времени. Оп. Давно, кстати, не заходил. Это не было времени на попроходить. О, нифига себе. Осталось 10 дней. Надо качаться до крутки сильной. Сквозь хильчурские земли. Ничего себе. Это надо, короче, попроходить, да, посидеть. А я знаю, что там какие-то подарки раздавали на почте. Оп, кротка даже есть. 2. Найс. У меня сейчас там крутим мы Сяо и я Мика, но мне ни та, ни другая не нужна, поэтому крутить не буду. По оружию вроде тоже ничего такого не надо. Так, миссия. Вот, маленькая океанида, капельмейстер, глава 1. Жизнь как поющий ручей. Члены труппы не согласны по поводу концовки сценария, считают, что должны услышать мнение Вильмонта, последнего участника. Вы покидаете Пуассон. Так, покидаем Пуассон. Куда-то в леса. О, диджабль. Прикольно. Так, не туда. Окей. Ой, там...
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
Что там происходит? Там, блин, сундук он этот. Его надо будет как-то... Подожди. Зачем прибежала, непонятно. Ладно. Не буду сундук пока доставать, пока сюжетка. Оп. Надо слаймов всего лишь победить. В чем проблема?
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
Мы за Фурину не будем играть?
Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Так у нее же нет глаза бога, что она делать будет?
Don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a
хитрюга.
damsel in distress more than anything.
Типа, я разбираюсь, иди.
So smug. Ugh, second-hand embarrassment is unbearable.
Касть травы. Для этого не нужны божественные силы. Неужели ты не владеешь самообороной? Касть травы. Мне нравится это.
Indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Селави.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry.
Так жарабаса киньте, да и все. Пусть схудеет. Вот видите ли. Ну, блин. Вообще-то это.
Shine down.
And Shroud!
Нате.
Keep up.
Не, нет огненного. А чё у меня электричество не идет? Или против него не действует? Вот, действует. Нормально. Нормально. Еще что ли? А, еще партия. Сколько интересно.
With the wind!
Умирайте все.
Cascade.
А, у этого иммунитет, понятно.
I hear everything.
Блин, как сложно без огненного драться, оказывается. Блин, почему у него иммунитет, а?
Illusion shattered.
Че, псина подобавилась? Вот оно тебе надо было?
Now you shall perish. There is no escape.
Псина больше надхватывала, чем эти шарики.
Disappear! Windblade! Be still.
Ладно, здесь электричеством бьем. Ну, зараза.
Illusion shattered.
Так и получается электричеством бить.
One with the forest. Keep up.
Давай, бей уже его. Чё, блин, дерусь с этими слаймами полгода.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Да, продолжаем, идем расспрашивать этого господина. Так, но у меня сейчас нет никого с двуручным оружием, поэтому не будем сейчас добывать кристаллы. О, хата на краю. Hello, hello.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Farina
В
doing
бабочке
here?
такой из леса вышел.
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
Дильфи рассказывает Вильмонту обо всем произошедшем.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone?
Наверное.
I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless
там
you
за
mean to
правда
suggest
такая?
that O'Reilly's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for O'Reilly was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to O'Reilly on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
Он щ-
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, Anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during
Ой, дай
performances.
угадаю, это была вода
It seemed like a
первозданного моря?
win-win. So, I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Абсентион? Что это? Наркотик какой-то?
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Naсколько помню, он вызывает состояние эйфории, но при этом наносит существенный вред организму.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe, and it wasn't my fault.
И что она сделала?
But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling
Так пошли бы к жандармам,
I admit
ё-моё,
this
у
whole
вас же
thing
там
was
есть
my
эти
mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the
полиция
truth back
местная.
then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
Этот инцидент привлек внимание торговцев абсентионом к руководительнице труппой. Твоя ошибка дала им повод похитить и убить ее.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in
Одно
God's
успокаивает,
name
другое
didn't you tell
накидывается.
us?
Нормально у них там.
What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her. How could you be so stupid?
Как ты так сглупил?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about
Он
taking some
так уже живет в
responsibility
лесу,
for
что
what
ты на
he's
него
done?
наезжаешь.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough.
О, смотри-ка,
Now
проснулась
pipe down, both of you.
властительница.
Can you stop
Фурина.
conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside.
Ну,
That's how you should
пламенная речь
remember her.
от самой
And
Фурины.
that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already
Ну,
fractured?
это аргумент, да, они же нормально
But you
сыграют, если
can't
будут
bring
все это
yourself to do that,
гавкать
can
друг на
you?
друга.
You care too much about Director O'Reilly and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Я тоже любопытно, что она
Sorry,
зажила.
I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that
Ой, она
same
по-любому
stern
будет в
voice.
конце их этим боссом.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Мы здесь
Clearly,
вообще-таки
everyone
скрались,
needs to take
типа,
a
что
step
делаем,
back for now
непонятно.
and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
Возможно, удастся узнать больше о ее судьбе.
What do you mean?
Фонтан
The
заглянуть.
Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
Чё,
I
не велет
trust
нас
that
на
nobody
коротком
would
звонке.
object to the
Сейчас
ending of the
сходим,
story
узнаем.
being based on O'Reilly's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Допустим. Мы, видимо, вдвоем, ну, втроем, условно говоря, будем искать. Так, отыщите вещи руководителя труппы во дворце Мермония. Так, дворец Мермония, это у нас вот сюда надо. Оп. Кур де Фонтейн, дворец Мермония. Hello, hello. Так. Я когда-нибудь выполню твою миссию, обещаю.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now.
Давно?
Still,
Вроде
since
недавно
you
все
were the ones who
произошло.
discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
Так, и пошла. Седн отправляет сотрудника за коробку с бывшими вещами Орелли.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person.
Дай
and
угадаю, там
this
будет что-то
tattered old
написано.
notebook.
Пьеса, которую хотели поставить, да?
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches, too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off.
Что такое?
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She
А,
probably
типа,
didn't have much strength
одной рукой
left.
дописывала,
Her
когда
final
уже
words
умирала.
are, I'll let you read them for yourself.
А ты не можешь прочитать? Раз начала. Ну давай. Еще одну девушку забрали. Уже 6-ю по счету. Или 7-ю. Вчера одна пыталась побежать, но безуспешно. Больше мы ее не видели. Может, это было и не вчера. Я уже потеряла счет часам и дням. Не знаю, есть ли смысл продолжать писать. И не знаю, как долго вообще смогу писать. Я уже вижу свою участь. Но еще страшнее, что я видел других членов труппы. Смогла ли я их защитить? Не могу. Больше не могу писать. У меня, кажется, жар, и желудок снова болит. Но никто не дает мне лекарств. Креси всю ночь не могла уснуть из-за боли. Мне еще не так плохо, как ей. Ценность материала. Вот важно только, что материал исследования был использован до того, как тот умрет. Здесь так сыро. Я дала ей свое дело. Как же холодно. Нужно держаться. Все пройдет. За старание всегда полагается награда. Я люблю им это говорить, но я больше не могу держаться. Если кто-то это прочитает, труппа обезопасить. И я, они, очень важно. Пожалуйста, прощай, прости. Жизнь, спектакль, будущее. Сожалею, Клио. На этой странице ничего не разобрать. Среди беспорядочных каракулей с трудом удается прочесть отдельные слова. С этой страницы дневниковые записи обрываются. Теперь на их месте слова песен из мюзиклов. Одни вырезаны из газет, другие написаны от руки. Видно, что в записях много исправлений. Страницы часто перелистывали. Вероятно, это записи принадлежали Орали, главной театральной труппы.
She was so terrified.
Она видела, как прямо на ее глазах девушка растворилась. И дальше она молча ждала своей смерти.
She may have
Ну
been
да,
a
печальная
mighty
история.
hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Что там? Остальные страницы также исписаны строками из мюзикла, но одна из страниц была вырвана, сложена в несколько раз и прикреплена к последней пустой странице. В самом низу Орали дописала несколько строк. Они написаны четче других. Можно вообразить, сколько сил и времени стоили автору эти строки. Если ты станешь человеком, ты никому не сможешь открыть свою тайну. Тебя ждут страдания и одиночество. Ты правда этого хочешь? Да, потому что я для них старшая сестра. Я люблю их.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Зачем ты повторяешь? Я прочитал только что. Вот так вот. Мой труд обесценили.
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. And she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Что, мы сейчас книжку им понесем? Или так будем рассказывать? Так, куда нам? Направо. Оп, оп. А я могу просто варпнуться? Да. Наверное. Куда? Вот сюда будет самый близкий. Так. А, они где-то... Сундуков нет? А, они в этом. В свои... Как это называется-то? Я забыл это слово. В своем помещении. После прочтения тетради кто-то молчит, не знает, что сказать. Кто-то горько плачет, а кто-то скрежечет зубами и воет от ярости. Не скоро труп оказывается в состоянии спокойно собраться и подумать над решением.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
Неплохо так
I will channel
устроились.
all my regret and put it into my performance
Ничего, не
to
все
make this a
толпой
show
спят на
worthy
одной
of our
кровати.
director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director O'Reilly and her
То есть
alone.
в итоге все-таки труппу распустят, да?
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role.
Ну да,
Pouring
нужно, как
all your
это,
emotion into your
танцует будто-то в
performance.
последний раз.
And aren't human emotions
Пой или
love,
неважно, делай то,
hate,
что ты делаешь,
regret,
как будто в
and
последний раз.
hope
Тогда получится
just the
максимально
most
хорошо.
mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Она еще и
Let's
финансирование
not
может
delay
помочь,
things
я
any
думаю.
longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal.
Какое
During the
предложение?
curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Ну, допустим, ладно.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Ой, дай угадаю, мы сейчас пойдем в сцену, да?
Procure a stage?
Договариваться. Наверное, на этом, в
Oh,
этом
it's
театре
okay.
Эпиклес.
Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage.
В театре
By
Эпиклес.
which I,
Все
of
правильно.
course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Верьте в себя. Все или ничего. Ой, я случайно
I
первый
have no
был.
problem with it then. How about the rest of you?
Вам такой шанс дают. Гнать надо. Как это? Хули думать, прыгать надо.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too.
Да,
Come
теперь
on.
живите с этим
We'll need
грузом
to get the
ответственности.
go-ahead from Neuvillette. I know just where to find him.
А, мы все-таки к Невелету мы сходим. Я понял. Куда ж без него? Так. Направо и наверх. Так.
Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
Что, на траву смотрит?
You were just
Медитирует?
guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
Вы рассказываете Невелету сюжет маленькой Кенниды, а также
I understand.
предысторию мюзикла.
The process for booking the opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult.
Сказал, да сделали, ты ж
The
главный.
story of the Little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has
Так она и
happened.
не будет выступать, ты не слушал, что ли?
What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why
интересно.
would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Тебе ж
Well, if
нравится,
the Little
иди,
Oceanid turns
выступай.
out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot,
Ну
and
ты
it
же
has
можешь
already been
постановки
well
делать.
worth the price of
Тупишь.
admission.
Тупишь.
I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalet.
Прекрасно. Все
You are
согласовано.
very welcome.
Very даже. Очень, пожалуйста. Так, вернитесь на место проведения репетиции, помогите с репетицией. Сейчас помогу. Как помогу? Сундуков в городе как-то не нашел еще ни одного. Хотя, казалось бы, столько мест, куда их запихать можно. А нигде нет.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to
Я просто
fight
воспользовалась
every
связями,
step
всё
of the way
понятно.
for this opportunity. But we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiumal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Отлично.
Communication is
Всё,
vital
давайте
to any
репетируйте,
good
мы пошли
performance.
пожрем, что ли.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing. Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
Не терпится увидеть, что получится.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Так, вот. Кат-сцена якобы, да? А у меня элемент гидра он нарисован. Хотя я не гидра. Я ветер.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
Нормально у них сцена там.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
О, она теперь
Everyone's
синяя.
really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long
А
time.
там нет этого занавес обычно делают,
If
чтобы
only.
What should we
между
do?
антрактами.
It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Why does it have to be now?
А ей плохо, да?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh,
Она же болеет там,
not
да?
again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my
Ты же
dose.
актриса, соберись, иди
What?
выступай, ёп.
I thought they
Моё.
cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
Ну сейчас по-любому Фурина пойдет, да?
This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Farina, I'd like to make a request of you.
И наряд
Say no more.
подходящий, тоже синий.
If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh,
Переодевайся.
yeah, I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep.
Да довольно, ты хоть
No
улыбку
one
не
likes
скрывай.
regrets. Myself
Скрой,
included.
что ты
Leave it to
якобы
me.
не хочешь
I've
этого делать.
watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
О, какой вопрос ей задает, смотри-ка.
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
И пошла выступать. Выглядит красиво. Что, кат-сцена будет, да? А, Театр будет, да?
Must it get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Голос какой красивый. Да, мне очень нравится.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Ох, очень красиво. Мне прям понравилось. Песня прям балдеж. До мурашек. О, я даже там тоже на сцене. Видимо, я тут фразу одну говорил.
Who was that lady Farina on the stage just now?
Вы первый раз, что ли, видели?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere. Gotta say though, her acting skills
У
are
нее
as
появился
superb as
глаз
ever.
бога.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Ага. А назвали-то ее, да, этим.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Да, просто на всех такой. Фурина это.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
Но не вслух сказала. Мысленно.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged.
На самом
After
деле, у нее
all,
такая внешность
it's been
яркая,
the
что
rule
как
in
бы
Fontaine since
довольно
ancient times
сложно
that
ее не
everyone's
узнать.
work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
В крайнем случае могут попросить дать несколько автографов.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack.
Ты про глаз бога, да?
To where she was supposed to be and was about to dropped the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey,
Интересно, а
it worked pretty
кто
well,
раздает
didn't
им
it?
эти
I'll bet the
глаза
audience
Бога?
has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Им еще и на сцене убираться придется? Отстой. Вернитесь к Дюльфи. Как далеко нужно возвращаться? А, вот можно варпнуться вот сюда. И на выход вниз. А, она у себя на хате, я понял. Так, заходим. Вообще ей плохо стало, может ей к врачу надо было отправить. А, вот для кого кровать, понятно.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
Там репортер, что ли, был?
That's wonderful.
Кстати, да, любопытно, что
I'm so
репортерши не было.
sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it.
No,
I've had bad luck
we
ever
did
since I
it.
was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went
А
out on
точно
a
ли
high
ушли?
note.
По-любому сейчас
That's
переобуйтесь.
all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
Женитесь.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Да нет, не ругайтесь. Вообще ни разу.
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Почему должны?
It's what we all agreed to.
Да так
After all
решите
that's
обратно
happened,
все.
I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
И ушел.
Don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you.
Свет
I'd
поменялся.
originally hoped to keep
Повечерело,
performing
видимо.
too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well.
Подожди, а кто бабки
What about you,
зарабатывать
Miss
будет?
Farina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
Нормально, что, бабки будешь поднимать? Грести
It's
лопатой,
quite
так
all
сказать.
right. No need to apologize.
Плюс глаз Бога он
What I
получил.
meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Не обязательно принимать решение прямо сейчас. Делать то, что кажется тебе правильным.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
В следующий раз я приглашу тебя присоединиться ко мне.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to
А кто
honor it.
распоряжается, кому глаз Бога дать, а кому нет? Любопытно. Ну, собственно говоря, вот и задание завершилось. Все, уходим отсюда. Не хочу здесь больше находиться. Они очень много болтают. Хотя сама история интересная. Да. Что там у нас? Я получил баблишко. А тут есть? Да, вот тут. Да, история интересная. Особенно песня, которую она пела, вообще балдежная. Я жду мурашек. А так, может быть, имел смысл где-то диалоги подсократить. Не знаю. Ну, посмотрим. Что я могу сказать? Осталось... У меня даже чуть-чуть круток есть, но я тратить их не буду, я хочу архонтов собирать дальше. Ну или пока не выйдет какой-нибудь прикольный перс. Елань, например, я бы, наверное, на Елань крутанул еще. Она балдежная. Вот, так, что я могу сказать? По заданиям. Вот, мне осталось только Ризли и Навия. Навия, не знаю, Навия, наверное. Вот, поэтому в будущем буду их проходить. Наверное, в следующий раз пройду Ризли. С Нави довольно много уже было общения, а с Ризли как-то меньше. Такой из всего моего сюжетного состояния был менее всего раскрыт. Вот. А на сегодня все. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Если понравилось, ставьте лайк. Мне будет приятно. Если есть что-то сказать даже, пишите в комментариях. И всем до новых встреч. Всем пока-пока.
Windblade!